Look who's with me, John Schaefer. It's all about keeping it safer with Schaefer. Good to see you again,
Good to see
John.
you.
All right, we're going to get a little more depth into something that we've talked about before,
Right.
and that's boat insurance.
Yeah, I hope everybody had a fabulous Memorial Day weekend, was safe. Here's a great story for you. One of my buddies was actually fishing a tournament and ran out of gas. So one of the options I have is sign and glide towing with Progressive, where you can get on your app, you can just hit that, and somebody can bring you gas, and it's got a GPS coordinates. Great app to have on your phone if you have Progressive insurance.
Oh, that sounds like, towing insurance and stuff, but it's for your boat.
For your
They
boat,
come out and help you.
yeah.
Okay, I like that because if you're out in the middle of nowhere in a lake and you got no way of getting somewhere, that becomes real important.
Or run out of gas.
Okay, that's one thing. I mean, and that's a great thing to have, obviously, but what does insurance on a boat, what does that cover? What's it all about?
Okay, so obviously there's different kinds of boats.
Yeah.
There's yacht boats, we've got little John boats, every kind of boats in between. So my deal as an expert is just really basically going through when you call me, what kind of boat type do you have? If you have a yacht, we really need a marine survey. And so there's companies that do that. They come down, inspect the boat, make sure there's fire extinguishers, all that stuff. If your boat's under 26 feet, we can write it immediately. That'd be like your pontoons, your regular pleasure boats, your bass boats would all fall under that category.
So it's not one size fits all. You have different things that have to be looked at.
Right. And there's also boat usage. If you're a fishing guide, you have to have different insurance than the regular guy who barely fishes.
Yeah.
And that's where I come in as experience as an agent and just really understanding what do you have and what we need to get you the best coverages for that.
I would think when you talk about being a fishing guide, of course, you're putting people in your boat and you are transporting them just the same as a license or insurance for someone driving a car. Yours is going to be different.
Right.
Okay.
You've got to have captain's insurance. A lot of details go into that.
And that's why people talk to you.
That's right. We got to know, because if not, you could not be covered.
All right.
What does boat insurance cover? As we lead into that, property damage. If I'm out there and I'm tied up beside somebody and the waves hit my boat, boom, boom, and it scratches your boat all up, that guy's responsible for his wake. But if we can't get him, then you could either file it on your insurance or file it on your buddy's insurance.
Yeah.
So
see, but that's all the things that you have to keep in mind.
Right.
But you're here to help people through all of those steps. Here's what you need to bring me as far as what kind of craft you have, what you're using it for, this and that, and then you have to think a little bit beyond just what's inside the boat, because you have to insure sometimes for things that are outside the boat.
That's right.
As well.
We've got to do that also, And it comes like fishing boats, you got to make sure the grafts are insured.
Right.
Your tackle, wakeboard boats, you've got boards on there, your surfboards, you've got the ropes, you've got all different kinds of mechanisms that go into surfing and all that. So
when does boating insurance kick in? Because you're towing a boat, however many miles to the lake. Does it kick in once you're on the lake? How does that go?
Yeah, great question. So your boat, as soon as you hook onto it, you need coverage on it, because in the state of Missouri, insurance follows the vehicle or the item. So now if you're pulling it, you're covered for liability. If you're pulling it with your truck and you slide and you hit someone's car with a trailer, that's covered, but your boat's not covered. So you want to make sure you have insurance before you even pull off the lot. If you buy your boat up here at Bass Pro, make sure you call me and get insurance before you pull it off there, because if you crash it, there is no coverage.
That's it. So it's not just because it's on the lake. You've got to protect your boat in all of these different circumstances. Yeah, it's a lot to kind of take in.
That's right. But a lot to do. And one thing I recommend too is that, the safety guidelines, especially for the summer. Life jackets, having the recommended life jackets. Check the weather conditions.
Oh yeah.
It gets kind of crazy around here with all the storms we've had lately. Have your engine checked out, make sure everything's good in that. Make sure you have a working fire extinguisher. One time I checked mine and it was in the red and it's bad.
All it is an anchor at that point.
Yes, no good, and if you really need to look at the rules and regulations, you have to be a certain age to drive a boat. Don't be letting your 12-year-old go out there and drive a boat if he's not licensed to drive a boat.
Well, you know, you do things like that, you have something happen, now negligence enters into it. So it's best to do it the right way.
That's right.
The first time and all the time. Hey, people want to get a hold of you, talk more about boat insurance or so many other subjects I know you can help them with.
Yeah.
How do they do that?
Well, they can toss a line and give me a ringle there. So you can call me at 417-766-4689. Or if you want to jump on board, you can scan the QR code on the screen, and that quote goes directly to me, and we can get you quoted up for summer.
There you are.
Yeah.
Perfect time for it. And that's how you keep it safer with Schaefer.